and the chances of complications are very high if it is considered in the acute phase. So the third system which is most commonly affected by the COVID is the neurological system. So the most of the cases it is basically because of the inflammation mediated in the central nervous system, where the patient present in the post-COVID period in the form of headache, delirium, cerebrovascular accident, both ischemic and hemorrhagic stroke, seizures, infectious and toxic encephalopathy, acute encephalitis, meningitis, and disc executive syndromes, and these are mostly inflammatory mediated. The second part is the immune mediated, which usually affect the peripheral nervous system. This is because of the immune reactions. The patient can go into anosmia. Loss of smell and taste is usually a commonest finding in the post-COVID sequelae patients. The patients can have acute myelitis-like presentations, and sometimes in rare cases the patient can land up in Guillain-Barré syndrome, or there is a special variety of Guillain-Barré syndrome like Miller-Fisher syndrome. Some patients also can manifest different kind of polyneuropathy and polyneuritis cranialis, which can selectively affect the cranial nerves or the peripheral nerves. The third is because of the direct viral injury on the musculoskeletal system. The patient can present like atonia or paresis, and if the patient is remaining for a long time in the ICU, sometimes because of the prolonged stay in the ICU and overuse of the steroids, the patient can manifest critical illness myopathy or critical illness neuropathy. So in a nutshell, the different pathogenesis of different systems like pulmonary and systemic disease that leads to hyperinflammations, multi-organ failure, hypercoagulable state, which leads to encephalitis, encephalopathy and stroke. There can be direct invasion of the virus over the nervous system that leads to stroke, encephalitis, muscular damage, anosmia and dysgeusia. There can be post-infectious immune-mediated complications on the central nervous system, which can manifest in the form of Guillain-Barré syndrome, acute encephalopathy, encephalitis, okay, and acute disseminated encephalomyelitis. So if you see the basic pathophysiology behind this neurological complications is nothing but the mechanism remains the same. When the virus affect the nerves, there will be generation of the lot of inflammatory molecules in the form of the cytokines and other molecules like DAMPs and PAMPs, damage associated molecules. So and that leads to disruption of the blood-brain barrier. So once there is a disruption of the blood-brain barrier, that leads to migration of the virus to other nerves and also affect the neuroglial cells and the nerve sheath surrounding the nerve, and that leads to severe endothelial damage. Okay, so this is something called a cytokine sickness. Because of the cytokine sickness and increased inflammatory mediators and cytokines in the like interleukin 6, interleukin 1, tumor necrosis factors, that ultimately damages the nerve, the surrounding nerve tissues and the neuroglial cells, and there will be a failure of the neurotransmitter inside the brain. The most dangerous and the complicated scenario in the post-COVID period is the something called as MIS. It is called the multi-inflammatory syndrome, which is manifested both in the children as well as in the adult populations. The children sometimes manifest the MIS after 2 to 3 weeks they have recovered from the illness, whereas in sometimes the adult the manifestations can be in the acute COVID infections, or sometimes in the ICU, or sometimes they can also after discharge from the hospital they can again readmitted in the hospital in the ICU because of the multi-system inflammatory syndrome. So the pathogenesis behind this multi-system inflammatory syndrome is basically nothing but it is a immune mediated phenomena. So here the because of the COVID virus infections, there are a lot of antigens and antibody reactions which happened in the body, and because of that there will be a lot of organ damage, and as we know the cytokines they persist for a period of almost in some patients for a period of 6 to 8 weeks, and because of the persistence of the prolonged cytokine terms or cytokine levels in the body, this patient can go into severe organ dysfunction in the post-COVID period, and this is called as multi-system inflammatory syndrome. So in the adults, in the acute phase, along with the COVID, they can present with MIS like picture, where there can be severe organ dysfunction in the form of myocarditis, cardiac failure, multiple organ dysfunctions, liver failure, acute kidney injuries, severe thrombocytopenias and bleeding tendencies, and other complications like high grade fever, which is actually not responding to your typical antivirals and the steroids, and there the prognosis is guarded. And in some patients, after the discharge from the hospital, when they again come back with some similar kind of presentations, and in those cases usually they are sometimes managed with high dose of steroids, and in sometimes in rare to rare cases intravenous immunoglobulins. The most important part in children is, in almost